Here's why you learn. Here's how you learn, right here from YouTube. I totally forgot to put in. Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another beautiful Tool Tuesdays here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. One of my favorite days. I am a toolophile, and today's tool is something that's gonna be handy for anybody that runs equipment, whether it's gas equipment, diesel equipment, whether you have a lawn care business, whether you have a farm, a piece of property. Any of those apply to what we're doing today. So in the back of old Silver, our rusty, crusty, beat up farm Dodge truck, and that's our unicorn Dodge, by the way. It's a 5.9 Cummins, 5.9 gas. Inside the back of the truck is a fuel tank that I bought used for $100. It has given me hassle after hassle after hassle. I've had to rebuild the pump on it. I've had to rewire it. I've had trash in the fuel, rust in the fuel, and the rust is falling off of the fuel cap. So today we're gonna fix this problem. We're gonna keep this fuel tank here on the farm. I'm not sure if we're gonna use it for gasoline or for diesel, but I've got to take it to a radiator shop and have them just go through it and clean the darn thing really good. So today we're gonna show you the proper installation method for a new fuel tank that's sitting right on the TYM 254 tractor. And this video is brought to you in part by Northern Tool and Equipment. There'll be a link down the video description to all the goodies that we're going to be using today. So come along as we slap a new fuel tank inside old Rusty, the Silver Dodge. All right? Woo! Woo! Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge, Stoney Ridge Farm. So I guess first of all, let's introduce you to the trucks and the tools and the tractors that are being used today. So this is our crusty $3,000 Dodge Ram 2500 pickup. I paid $3 grand for this thing. Man, it's been at least 5 years ago and have only had one hiccup. It had a rusty fuel line, and the other hiccup, the reason I call it the Rusty Crusty Dodge is because it's got frosted flakes coming off of it. When I bought this truck, and buyer beware, when you buy a pickup truck, the entire rocker panel and bottom of that door is made of tape. So the guy found a color matched spray paint, matched the color, and took that HVAC, the HVAC metal tape, it's like aluminum tape, primed it and painted it, and if I push my finger hard enough, it'll go right through that door, man. That was some shady work. The engine runs absolutely great. It's been the perfect farm truck, but it's been a northern truck, man, and you can tell this is the worst side. It is taking a beating, okay? Now, when you go to install a fuel tank in a brand new truck, you want to be careful, or a nice truck like our unicorn Dodge. There's no reason for me to install a tank in that truck when we've got the beat up farm truck. So what we've got right now is a different brand. This is a UWS, and I'm not knocking UWS brand tanks, guys. Post a comment if you like the UWS brand. What we're gonna be putting in is a RDS, and you can see on the fuel water separator right here, the filter, down in the bottom of that filter is a lot of sediment. This pump is on its last leg. It's just really, really working hard. The door doesn't shut, doesn't lock. I never got a key for it, but it is a farm truck, so that's what it's all about. It's a farm truck. What we're gonna be installing here is an RDS manufacturing. It's made in Perry, Florida, and it's awesome, okay? The hydraulic cylinders work. This is the toolbox section, a little bit smaller, so we're gonna have a little bit lower profile. The other fuel tank is a 100-gallon fuel tank, and this fuel tank is a 90-gallon fuel tank, and it is shaped basically like an L underneath, right here, underneath that fuel tank toolbox combo. Now, we have a fuel gauge on here, which is awesome. The fuel cap on this is far superior. It is, look at that. That is far, far superior. So this tank breathes a little bit better. I am going to install, I'm assuming this is probably a breather. I've got to read up a little bit more, but I will install a hose that points down right here, a gas line hose that points down. That way it can breathe properly. I'm not sure that that's what that is. And this is where we'll be installing our pump. We're gonna put the pump on prior to installing in our new truck. The first step is we've got to remove the tailgate, and we'll show you all the tools that we're going to be using. This one is not properly mounted in the back of the truck. I've been a bad boy, safety Sam, you can get at me. Most stolen item on a pickup truck, right here. Tailgate. Man, it's so easy to steal a tailgate, guys. They make specific locks that you can buy to keep your tailgate from getting swiped. But man, think about all these new tailgates with all this newfangled stuff like steps on them. Man, those are expensive tailgates. So all we got to do is drop the tailgate to a certain level right here and then give her a lift. Let's see, there it is. And off comes the tailgate. That's how easy it is to swipe a tailgate. That's a 45-second procedure. Not too heartwarming, is it? Let's set this off to the side in the grass over here. Then we're gonna pull the tractor up and we're gonna get up underneath this old fuel tank, raise it up and get it out of the truck. Once again, guys, I'm a bit of a toolophile. So we've got a DeWalt socket set. We've got our old school DeWalt 18 volt awesome drill that's 20 years old. We've got some shrink tape right here, pair of pliers, adjustable wrench. We're going to use alligator clips for a temporary setup on this. We've got wire strippers. We have fuel rated Teflon tape, some extra Scotch 33, the good electrical tape, X-Acto knife or box cutter knife, and we've got a pair of needle nose pliers just in case we need them. So those are all the tools that we should need for this project. I knew I'd be getting it close with those pallet forks. I've got about that much underneath this tank, so I'm gonna have to hop in the bed of the truck and kind of pull it up on the pallet fork. Woo-hoo! Looks like we gotta add 2 more tools to the list. A broom and a blower. Up we go. I think a guy ought to clean the bed of his truck out at least once every 3 or 4 years. You guys know how to get stuff out of a box. So we're gonna get all this stuff out. This is the M180S AU pump. So I think AU stands for auto shut-off nozzle, I do believe, but don't hold me to it. Power cord's factory installed, everything's good to go. All we should have to do is just attach it right here. That should be it, I hope. Fingers crossed. Again, the M180S AU. I'll cut it out just so you can see it, dag. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look at that right there. That's it, that's a model. There'll be links in the video description. It told me I needed to have Teflon tape, but it actually comes with a roll of Teflon tape inside. This is the auto shut-off valve pickup tube. This is our pickup tube for this critter. I do believe it probably screws together like that. I'm not a big instruction reader, but we're gonna read instructions just for giggles. This screws together and then this slides up and down so that it meets the bottom of your tank. So that is the lowest pickup point right there. Okay, so that will sit on the bottom of the tank and this will go into the pump. It's adjustable, cool? So as we put it in, we'll pull it all the way out and we'll set it down in where it sits right on the bottom. Very, very cool. In case you guys don't know, and I didn't know this before I started working with Northern Tool, but Northern Tool is a family operated business, family owned and operated business, I do believe. I had no idea. They've got an awesome history and a very successful American company. So proud to represent Northern tool and equipment here. There we go. This is just a blue shop towel, also available at Northern Tool and Equipment. Wipe that dude out real good. Just gently place it over so we don't get any trash in there. And we can go ahead and start working with our adapter. So we've got an adapter that goes into the tank and from the tank to the pump right here. Pretty cool. We're gonna wrap it up with our fuel safe Teflon tape, nice and snug. Now the next thing we're gonna do is install our pump. Our pump has a plug in the bottom. We'll remove that plug. And this has a swivel nut on it so that we can adjust our pump the appropriate direction. Okay, so here we go. Pretty simple, pretty nifty, huh? Awesome. It says to use an adjustable wrench, but if you don't have an adjustable, a pipe wrench will do, okay? Want it snug, pretty darn snug up on this. So it's not, there we go, so it's not flopping around so that you don't get any leaks. It may move ever so slightly, but we're not gonna have any leak problems. So we're gonna take our pair of pliers here, we're gonna pull our plug that comes with the pump, and there's no trash or anything in there. Just for shiggles, I'm going to wipe it out, and I'm gonna hang on to this rag and you'll know why in just a minute. There is a specific way you install this to keep it from rattling in the back of your truck. Now when it's full of fuel, it's probably not gonna rattle, but when it's not full of fuel, it's gonna rattle in the back of your truck and potentially wear out the bed of your pickup truck, causing rust like Rusty Dodge there. So what we've got is our threaded nipple and our adapter and our hose. Okay, so the hose will go directly into these threads. These are tapered threads, but that's not what we want to do because we have to install our fuel filter, which is right here. And this is a particulate filter that comes with the kit. Here's an adapter. This adapter goes into the nozzle after we put our fuel safe Teflon tape. Again, put that Teflon tape on, and this is a tapered thread also, so we may not even need Teflon tape, but we're being better safe than sorry. Ounce of prevention. Post a comment, tell me if you like Tool Tuesdays. Is this your first time to the YouTube channel here on the Stoney Ridge Farm? We do a lot more than this. Check out some other videos. Jump in, subscribe, I'd love to have you back. We're building the first generation cattle farm here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. And I just love this kind of stuff. This is what I love to do, man. I'm enjoying living the dream, building a farm. It's awesome. Nice. One more adapter goes in place right here. Just like so. This is our filter housing. So understand that this might need some adjustment, okay? So don't tighten it down like a gorilla right off because this filter may interfere with the bed rail on your truck, okay? So what our goal is to extend it out further than the bed rail, but this may have to be adjusted, not straight up and down. It may have to be at an angle. So be aware of that and put a little bit of motor oil on here or diesel fuel. But Stoney Ridge Farmer, I don't have no motor oil. Well, your truck's got a dipstick, don't it? Pull the dipstick out, wipe it off, put that motor oil on there, baby. Think outside the box. You've always got a little bit of motor oil. Just pull out your dipstick. Dipstick. It says hand tight plus 3/4 of a turn. Oh. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is install our hose, but I think we're gonna do that once we get it on the back of the truck. So let's go ahead and take the tractor, and you know what I forgot to do? I totally forgot to do. Oh, okay, who's ready to chuckle? Hey, dude, how you gonna pump it out if you don't put the pickup tube in? You're not. So what we do is get an education on how to disassemble really quickly too. It's a simple mistake. There's also a little gasket that we're gonna put in place right here too that I failed to mention. Hey, we don't do everything right the first time. Better to learn from me doing it than for you to have to learn doing it yourself. So loosen this little gasket, goes right in place here. Very simple. It will soak up diesel fuel, so it will seal itself. Now, our pickup tube, which we showed earlier in the video. I don't know why. I didn't go ahead and install it. Okay. Now we'll extend our pickup tube to its furthest length Then we'll gently, it's a snug fit, we'll ease it down in the tank. Just like so. Should hit the bottom of the tank here in just a second. Right there. Then we'll slide it on down where it rides directly on the bottom of the tank, and we'll snug it back up. We do it right because we do it twice. Woo! The kit comes with this foam rubber tape. It comes with a roll just like this, and we're going to install some of this. We've got some super clean. We're going to scrub off a few of these little humps real quick that are on the inside of the bed, and we'll install this peel and stick tape. Just peel it back just like so and lay it into place. Like a glove. Let's get it in there. So you guys can see how it needs to come back just a little bit more, and I want to make sure that I'm not getting too close to hit that window right there, because that's a bad day on the farm. So slide that guy in. We'll come on the other side. Lift him up, slide him back. I think this tank, it's a 95-gallon tank versus that 100-gallon tank. It's much less intrusive in the truck. In other words, I can actually reach down in beside the tank in the toolbox combo and access things. I can store things here. I can put rags here if I need them, and I won't have a pile of garbage like I had before, so I can actually get the leaf blower in there and blow it out and clean it out. So very, very nice, low profile too. So it doesn't stick up too far above the fender. We can always take our lines, tuck them back here, everything's out of the way. Awesome. Now we've got to bolt it into place, and I might have to get Mrs. Stoney Ridge out here to give me a helping hand. The next step is we have to drill out our holes for our bolt system here. And the way this bolt system works, I'll explain it to you, and then we'll do it real quick. I'll explain it as quickly as possible. So we have our nylon nuts and washers. So this guy gets a washer, a spring, and this fits on the top right there. I guess it's a washer, a spring, and another washer, okay? Washer, spring, washer. That fits on the top. That's what you can see from underneath, from on the top of the fuel tank. And this goes through the bed, and another washer and a nylon locking nut goes on there. Now, I have my best good helper here, and we're gonna be using her old crusty Victoria's Secret blanket.
I knew that thing would come in handy eventually.
Yep, so she'll be underneath, and we'll zip this thing on real quick. It'll be very, very simple. There we go. Boy, that was close. Okay, now Mrs. Stoney Ridge will put the nut on down low.
Ready?
Good. Okay, other side of the truck. So we'll repeat that process 3 times. You got one on each side and one in the front. Instructions say to put one in first, so we'll put the front one in first, bolted it in, and that holds the tank in place so it doesn't slide around. So you can't go and drill all 3 holes without it maybe slipping and sliding just a little bit. So we're almost done. We're gonna show you guys how we put the alligator clips on for running it off the battery, and we'll drop a little bit of fuel in this thing and see how she pumps. So we're gonna slip the end off so it's exposed, and that's where we're going to be putting our wire in, and we'll clamp that down with the pliers. In the meantime, we're going to put what I know to be shrink wrap on there, and this shrink wrap should fit right over top, just like so. We'll clamp it down, slide it on, and shrink wrap it. Now, let's test her out, see if she'll pump fuel. Flick this switch up.
Okay.
Yeah, now squeeze the nozzle.
All right.
It's not
much.
there. All right, so it works. We don't want to pump it all out though.
Nope, okay, we're good.
So go ahead and take the nozzle up and turn it off.
Okay.
And tuck it back into place. So guys, looks like we got a working fuel tank. A working woman's fuel tank. Guys, thanks a lot for joining us here on the Stoney Ridge on Tool Tuesday. This is Mrs. Stoney Ridge's first time on Tool Tuesday, right? Yeah. Thanks a lot for joining us here, guys. Please pound that like button, jump in, subscribe to the channel. We've got the rest of the whole farm. Let me show you real quick. All of this is what's going on out here. We got to go move the cows, and we've got a muskrat problem down here in the creek we've got to take care of. Down here in the pond we got to take care of. They're eating away at the pond dam. Not cool. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. All right? All right, honey?
All right.
Woo!
Woo!
Bring your woo on. See y'all.
Down to the Stoney Ridge, bring your wife and bring your kids, we're living life.